everybody. I'm Hillary Atkin from the Atkin Report, and I'm really happy to welcome Laura Littleton from The Voice to this edition of Hillary's Happy Hour. Laura, how are you doing?
I'm so good. I'm so good. How are you?
Really great. Thank you so much. Laura, your blind audition of Harry Styles' Sign of the Times blew away the coaches and got three of them to turn for you with Kelly blocking Blake right away. But how was what happened on stage different than what you might have imagined?
Oh my goodness. You have an idea of what the order you think you want to go with, but you don't factor in if somebody uses their block, and you don't factor in if somebody doesn't turn. So you're up there, and it really is down to the pitches. Like what Kelly was saying and between what Niall was saying, it was like when you saw me up there being like, choose. That was the truth. Like I was conflicted. I was conflicted.
Well, Niall and Kelly both fought really hard for you, and Kelly compared you to a cross between Florence and the Machine and Dolly Parton, which must have been amazing to hear that compliment.
Oh my goodness. I like those are two people that I love because I love both those genres. And to be compared, I was not expecting that. And you can tell by my reaction when I'm like, oh my goodness. But yeah, I was like blown away by that compliment. That was a very high compliment in my book.
Absolutely. And, despite the fact that Chance didn't turn and Blake got blocked, you were effusive in your praise for both of them. And it was really moving as a viewer to see that. But tell us more about the experience and then how you made your decision to go with Niall.
I think thinking about going on the stage, you think about it being this huge, like this huge moment where you're starstruck and you're in the presence of these insane celebrities, but when you're standing in front of them, there's so much, they like step into your world. It almost seems like you have known them your whole life. So it's so, conversation just flows so naturally with them, and they do such a good job at making you feel comfortable up there. And that's something I wasn't expecting going into it. I was expecting to kind of be a little nervous and a little just at a loss for words almost. But when I was up there, before I even recognized what was happening, I had to tell them all of these things of how highly I thought of them and how highly that we all thought of the whole experience, because I figured The Voice was a very good organization, but when you're a part of it, there's so much for each individual. Like they do so much, and the show is run so beautifully. And I just had to tell him. I had to tell Blake that, and I know he didn't have a chance to, like, we didn't have a chance to get to work together, but I could not tell him.
So how did you, it still must have been a tough decision between Kelly and Niall. And did you make that in the moment, or how was it working for you? Or was it because of your song choice of his bandmate, Harry Styles?
It truthfully had nothing to do with the song choice. I've seen a lot of different things where people are like, she only chose Niall because of the Harry Styles song. That was not in my decision making at all. Actually, it was a very tough decision between both of them because they both seemed to be a fan of me, which was pretty cool because I'm a fan of both of them. And so ultimately it came down to I'm just looking to have fun. Like in anything I do, I want there to be fun and energy and not taking it too seriously. And from the beginning, I think that's something that Niall recognized within me, and I recognize it in him. And we were just kindred spirits from the beginning. And Kelly, we were too. We had that same energy. She's loud, she's energetic, but there was something about, I think, Niall's past and him, which she was on a show too, but I don't know. There was just something that we were kindred spirits. I don't know.
Well, it was just one of the most enjoyable things to watch as far as the blind auditions. But as the competition moves forward, what do you hope to learn most from your experience on The Voice?
Man, it's just, I had no clue that that level of fun was possible and that level of being freed up was possible. And I hope that that's something within wherever music takes me that I'm always learning. And I think, you know, from the very beginning, even auditioning for The Voice, it was so fun, and every single phase of it has been fun. And I think that that's something that I have taken away the most is seemingly it should be a really stressful situation, and I don't ever want the stress of something to take away the joy of something. So I learned that within every phase of this show, and that's something that I want to exist in every aspect of my life.
Well, Laura, talking about fun, but I'm going to quote from Chance when he goes, I rock with you. So I do too. And I want to thank you so much for taking time out to be with me on Hillary's Happy Hour. I want to wrap it up by lifting a glass to your continued success on The Voice.
Thank you so much.
Cheers.
Cheers.